All right, guys, welcome back to Roxham TV and also welcome back to Jam Crypto. Well, I know I promised you guys yesterday that I won't be doing another live stream today, but I got the date wrong. I'm so sorry because I thought today is the National Day of Hong Kong. So yeah, tomorrow is actually the National Day of Hong Kong. That's why I will be off. Tomorrow, same time, you won't be seeing me live. I won't be doing live stream. However, there is an interview lined up for you guys. I did an interview with the CEO of Western Garden. So you guys gonna have a deep dive also about the perspective about his journey because he has been in Bitcoin since 2013. I had like so much fun just asking him questions and asking for his perspective basically about this Bitcoin market, what his take on the general trend. So make sure to tune in. The live section is going to be on Roxham TV between 4 a.m. Eastern time or 4 p.m. Hong Kong time if you guys are based in Asia like I am. So if you guys can't watch that, can't catch that live, just it's fine. Just go to Jam Crypto and also Roxham TV, then you'll be able to watch the replay. Anyways, since that we are doing another live stream, of course, we're going to look at Bitcoin, look at the market, because Bitcoin has been on a rally. So right now it's sitting at 113. Well, I saw that like yesterday, like last night, basically, and Bitcoin pumped all the way to 114, close to 115, which is another major resistance. Of course, we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart, just like how we always do. We're also going to look at some headlines news because I woke up and then I saw people talking about US shutdown, and there seems to be so much FUD because people can't really like grasp the idea of a shutdown or like US default. So is US defaulting, like can't pay the debt anymore? Well, it's not really the case. Of course, we're going to look at the news, dive deeper, and I'm going to give you my perspectives, like what is really going on. And then today, I kind of want to focus more on AI. Because if you have been watching my channel, you know I'm a big fan of AI because I do see huge integration between AI and crypto. I use AI every single day. I couldn't survive without AI right now. Like I couldn't remember the day before ChatGPT from when it emerged back in 2022. So yeah, we have lots of exciting news to look into. So let's dive into the chart. So of course, we're going to start with the hourly chart of BTC. Because, okay, like one interesting comment that I saw on Twitter is actually made by my friend. So he was saying that Bitcoin TA is no different than doing TA on meme coins. Of course, I don't agree with that because I think TA so far has been working really well for me. Some people call it reading tea leaves, but for me, it has helped me in the past to look at the entry price and also like what price point looks a little bit high. It give me a really rough idea because I am a believer when it comes to like comprehensive analysis, not just because I know there are influencers out there, they only spend time looking at charts, they are a strong TA believer, but I am more on the other side. So I use TA a little bit. I use fundamental analysis a little bit, and I use news analysis a little bit because I think like it's more like a pillars, like all stuff come together for me to come up with a better analysis. So that's just my take. And I seriously, I don't really grasp the idea why he would compare doing TA on meme coins because I don't know. Like I don't believe doing TA on smaller coins, smaller assets, especially all of those meme coins, they have just like a few million market cap. It's very easy to control that money when the market cap is so small. Like even if you ask me, I don't do TA on the top 10 crypto on the list because I believe other than Bitcoin or maybe Ethereum, I'll put Ethereum onto my TA list. But like other than that, I think most of the altcoins, they are highly manipulative. So that's why, yeah, I'm not like blindly following charts. I just kind of want to address that because some people like to make fun of that. I mean, that's okay. But I just trust my strategy that has worked for me in the past. And that's why I want to share that with you guys on Roxanne TV and also on my channel. So that's my take for TA. And this morning I was also watching a YouTuber. I'm not sure if you guys watched him as well. His channel is Invest Answer. I really like him, and I have been watching him for basically a few years. His analysis is really good and very subjective. It's very objective, very comprehensive. So he was comparing TA with fundamental analysis. Like one point he made that I find it really, really good. So I kind of want to share that with you guys. So he was saying fundamental analysis is helpful to know what you should trade, when TA is helpful to know like when you should get into the asset. So that's a really good quote. Like I should really write it down on my wall or maybe turn it into a poster. I really like that. So anyways, let's get into the chart. So let's start with the hourly chart of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had a really nice pump. Let's zoom closer. So basically like a 5% pump in less than 2 days. So 1 day and 15 hours. So what is going on? This is really good. Are we like out of the wood yet? Is it because we are entering October? So things are up only from now. Is it because of that? Well, let's see. So like 113 is a critical level. Like let's see if we gonna retest this level, or we're gonna like bounce off from 113. And 113 is so important because it's also the prior resistance or also the prior base, so prior low. So usually Bitcoin, or how assets would work or how assets would trade, is that it always go back to the previous resistance and also the previous support. So 113 is a level that I'm eyeing at the hourly chart. So that's for the 1 hour. Let's hop on to the 1 day chart of BTC. So I kind of want to, like, I'm not saying that I'm being bearish here, but if we are just looking at a technical perspective, Bitcoin is essentially just trading sideways. So I drew this, like, basically I talked about this yesterday as well. The major support we are seeing is around like 108, something like that. So we are just essentially just bouncing around inside this box. So, okay, it's looking bullish, but I'm cautiously bullish because we are not out of the wood yet, because 117 is a major resistance. If we don't actually close above that, or maybe retest this level, then all of that, forget about it. Like forget the nice pump that we have, forget about the 5% pump within 2 days. Like most of that is just noise. So 117, we have to get above that. And once we above that, like I do see as a really easy rally all the way back to the previous all-time high of 124. But so basically, what we are seeing from a technical standpoint is that, okay, if we break above 117, then of course it's bullish. We're going to all-time high 124 in no time. That's scenario number one. However, like we are kind of battling at this mid-range, and if we do lose the support of 108, well, then I'm afraid to break it to you. The next support line is going to be at 100, so 100K. I personally, I do lean more towards the bullish scenario because the narrative of October is really real. So like for October, like September, we did pretty well. So 5% pump. It's quite surprising. Like I didn't expect that in the beginning of September. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin likes to surprise everyone. October mostly is going to be good. Like if you take a look at this graph, only 2 months out of 12 months in Bitcoin history, we got a negative October. Like October usually the best return month for Bitcoin. So if I were you, I wouldn't bet against October. And if you are a 4-year cycle believer, then technically speaking, October, we're going to see a new all-time high or perhaps a cycle top. So if you are that type of believer, then we are definitely like, maybe we're testing 117, test it as support, and then we're going to test a new all-time high. Definitely going to break 124 if you are that believer of the 4-year cycle. Okay, let's go to the weekly chart right now and look at things at a higher time frame. Okay, so I kind of want to go back to the 4-year cycle because, like, if you are a 4-year cycle believer, then people are saying that the cycle top gonna happen exactly on 6th of October. So just like 1 or 2 weeks, just like 1 week, 1 week later. So I still think the 4-year cycle is intact, but maybe not to this level, like not straight this line. I do have my thesis behind this. I do have my reason behind my thesis. Okay, like if you are such a strong 4-year cycle believer, like there's no flexibility in your dictionary whatsoever, then you would believe that Bitcoin, okay, right now we're sitting at 113, and then we would go like towards breaking new all-time high or perhaps more. But okay, let's be cautious. Like those are the people who believe that Bitcoin would pump another 10% just to reach the previous all-time high of 124 within just 1 week. So yeah, I mean, it's not impossible, but there is like it has to be a really huge rally in order to reach that. So personally, I'm not so sure about the cycle top, the 4-year cycle being exactly on the 6th of October, literally just next week. However, I do think that the 4-year cycle is stretched out a little bit, but I think most of that is still intact. The reason why I would say this is that, okay, if you actually zoom out, the previous cycle top actually happened in November though. So I know there are non-believer of the 4-year cycle, like the institutions are in, there's so much more liquidity, Bitcoin is so much more adopted by different nations around the world. So yeah, I do believe that kind of thesis. But for me, I think like instead of the 4-year cycle ended exactly on 6th of October, maybe it will stretch out. Maybe it will stretch out a little bit because, okay, last cycle in 2021, we saw that in November, but maybe with the institutions getting in, maybe it'll stretch out to December. So that's just my own belief, my own thesis. Do let me know in the live chat if you guys are the 4-year cycle believer or not. But yeah, I think so far everything looks intact. I would love to be wrong. Like I would love to see the bull market last till all the way to 2026 or 2027. Because when I talk to some Bitcoin maxi, they seem to be the thinking that Bitcoin is on a run up only. There's like not not no more bear market now that BlackRocks are in, now that big banks are in. But let's see, because until it's proven otherwise, I still think Q4. I wouldn't say October, so I wouldn't say okay, 6th of October is going to be the cycle top, but I do think Q4 this year is going to be the cycle top. Because of that, I will take a little bit of profit off the table, mostly in altcoins though, particularly in altcoins. So let's hop onto the altcoins chart. We are here with the crypto total market cap excluding BTC and ETH. All right, so this cycle is weird. Again, I just keep repeating, like this cycle is so weird because I was around in 2024. I have seen the NFT craze and also the GameFi mania. So back in my days, oh my God, I sound so old now. So back in my days, I could just like close my eyes and choose a random altcoin and it would do at least a 10x. I'm saying at least. There's like no effort being put. There's no such thing as like research or due diligence. So that's how crazy the previous cycle was. So that's what I call alt season. Like this cycle, we had like a tiny alt season, and it was only on a selective of altcoins. So I personally wasn't really happy with that, but it is what it is. I do believe that Bitcoin dominance is going to rise, and the next. So this is the altcoin market, right? We are sitting at $1.08 trillion. Well, I do think like if Bitcoin keeps breaking new all-time high, completely intact with the 4-year cycle, like 4-year cycle going to end in Q4. I wouldn't say 6th of October. That would be too crazy. But Q4, I would just say Q4. And in Q4, like if Bitcoin keeps going on a rally, I do think it's going to take the liquidity and take the attention away from altcoins. And perhaps like we are seeing the support level at 1 trillion. Maybe altcoins going to dip even further especially against Bitcoin, maybe like 7% down. And 7% for altcoins is really nothing. We have seen like worse when it comes to the altcoins market. So anyways, that's my prediction for altcoins and also Bitcoin. I'm watching this very closely and whether we're going to see a cycle top on 6th of October, which again, it will be really crazy. And another reason why Bitcoin basically pumped to 114, close to 115 was of course liquidation. So in the past 24 hours, there are $313 million being liquidated. A lot of that is from Ethereum, so $72 million from Ethereum being liquidated. A lot of that is from short, so is BTC. So yeah, $68 million for Bitcoin positions being liquidated. So that's another reason, kind of like triggering the pump of BTC. But we have to see whether it's gonna last or not, because like I do see the RSI was a little bit overheated. We are still forming the let me pull up the brush. So we are still forming the bearish divergence right here. So again, let's see. All right, so that's for the TA. Well, I can't believe I talked so much TA today. All right, so let's move on to the major news, because that is so much fun in the market. Talking about the US shutdown. So what is a US shutdown? Okay, I'm going to give you a deep dive on the news, what's happening. Basically, there's like the White House meeting between the Democrats and also Republican, and there wasn't a deal. And so think of it, think of the government shutdown like a company runs out of money to pay staff and expenses. So it temporarily closes offices until new funding arrives. So in the US, like this happens because Congress must approve all federal spending. if it doesn't pass laws funding agencies by the fiscal deadline, in this case, it's going to be on the 1st of October, the money legally stops flowing. So this is just how the US works. It's very interesting. Like, if Republicans and Democrats don't agree, like the spending authority lapses. So what actually stopped? Because when I heard, okay, a lot of people, especially on Twitter, when they saw the word government shutdown, immediately they would jump to the worst conclusion ever. But what actually stopped? Like, what sort of funding would stop? Basically, non-essential services will get stopped. What I'm saying, like what classify as non-essential, for example, national parks, museums, visa or passport processing or federal research. So those are non-essential stuff. But what continues, of course, the essential services going to remain. What classify as essential services? Basically, military, like air traffic control, social security checks, Medicare, like those going to be classified as essential, and those going to continue working and also servicing the citizens. So who get hit the most? Of course, the federal workers. So some of the federal workers, maybe some like contractors, or some of them may have to work without pay. Contractors may lose their jobs. Small businesses near government hubs get hit the most, basically. All right, so a shutdown don't mean the entire government vanishes, but they signal political gridlock. So why now? Again, like government shutdown, this is not like the first time we are hearing this, because how it works is that, okay, we have the fiscal year, and usually it's between, 30th of September to 1st of October. So it's just like a 1 year period. Without new funding, a shutdown begins exactly on 1st of October. This is an annual risk, like it happened every single year. But in 2025, the effect just amplify because the US is very divided right now. The Republicans and Democrats, they are really not getting along, and the Congress is very divided. This deadline has escalated into a high-stakes shutdown, quite similar to 2018 and 2019. So, yeah, that's the basic you need to know about the shutdown. And then there is basically the White House meeting. It was such a failure. And then right after the White House meeting, Donald Trump went to Truth Social, and he was sharing an AI generated video, which is really funny. Like I have to share that video, but like just bear with me, because Truth Social, I have to turn on the audio as well. Okay, there you go. Watch this video. It's extremely funny.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while, until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
Yeah, I mean, that is really something. This is, of course, being posted by Donald Trump, and he was taking the piss out of the Democrats, of course. So, yeah, just a little funny video to share with you guys. Like basically straight after the White House meeting, he posted this on Truth Social. It's AI generated, if that wasn't obvious enough, but it was extremely funny. Okay, but let's come back to the US shutdown, because this is actually not the first time. If we look at the history, there are actually, like, since 1976, there has been 21 shutdowns from the government, and 10 of them, they're like more serious. Yeah, so here's the history of the US going through a shutdown. Some of that lasts longer. So, for example, 21 days or like a 16 days back in 2013, stuff like that. So basically, the most serious one was actually back in 2018. So right here, it was during Donald Trump time. They were fighting over the border, so border wall, and it cost the government $5 billion. So that's why it has a shutdown. But usually, like, shutdown almost always end with compromise and rarely deliver big wins for the side that triggers them. I would say people are assuming too much, looking too much into the news, where a shutdown maybe is not as serious, and it's very exclusive to the US, I would say, because like this just like happen every single year. There are headlines of government shutdown, and I was really curious, like, what about other countries? Is it a common thing other than America to have government shutdown? Like, turns out almost like other countries, they never go through government shutdown. This is a very uniquely American problem caused by separation of powers and the Anti-Deficiency Act. So it's very exclusive to the US. Even UK or Germany or Canada or Japan, there were no shutdowns in the history. Like, governments would just keep running under caretaker budgets or snap elections. Yeah, it's just it's very interesting. It's very unique to the US. So what I am saying here is that, okay, this government shutdown is not new. It's not the same as the debt ceiling. Like, a shutdown, it means the government can't approve new spending, whereas debt ceiling, on the other hand, it means like you can't borrow to cover old spending. So there's like a key difference there. Short-term wise, of course, like, some of the workers won't get paid. Some of the contractors will get laid off, and consumer spending might dip a little bit. Long-term wise, it might reduce public trust to the US government, but yeah, I mean, this is not like news to a lot of foreigners. Like, the US governments like to do this kind of stuff. So I'm not so sure about the long-term public trust for the US government anyway. There might be some wobbly in the market, but it always recover after some resolution. So I would say this shutdown are more political tools, not really economic necessities. It's like they are costly brinkmanship, I would say. So yeah, that's the key takeaway. The shutdown is part of a long-term partition fight, but the stakes feel higher now just because of inflation or market being more fragile, or some very, I would say, very bitter political polarization. Unless a last-minute deal is struck, we're heading into another shutdown, just maybe tomorrow, like the 1st of October. History suggests that it will eventually end with compromise, but in the meanwhile, like, workers, markets, and America's credibility take a hit. That's just what it means for this news. All right, let's move on to some AI news. I kind of want to spend more time talking about Elon Musk, or xAI, or LLM, because I have to say I'm really impressed. I use Grok every single day because I'm a crypto folks, and Grok tend to be really time sensitive when it comes to crypto stuff compared to ChatGPT or, I don't know, like Gemini for Google. So the reason why I want to talk about xAI so much in today's live stream is that, okay, xAI is the youngest AI giant, but is already rivaling OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google DeepMind. So of course, xAI is being founded by Elon Musk back in July 2023. xAI has gone from a small team to a company worth over $200 billion in just 2 years. So that's really something. The mission is very clear. Elon Musk is saying, okay, AI is for humanity. Unlike competitors like xAI, markets itself as less biased, more truthful, and integrated with the whole Elon Musk broader vision for humanity's future. So today I want to unpack it, like why xAI rose so much. And we're going to look at some metrics, like why I'm so impressed by Grok, basically. And they have done like a massive achievement, I would say, from just 2 years. Gosh, like less than, okay, 2 years, okay, a little more than 2 years. Okay, so of course it was founded in July 2023, started with engineers from OpenAI, Google, and Tesla. And then we have Grok 1. That was in November 2023. So Grok 1, when it came out, it wasn't very good. Like, it looks like a university project or something. And then they went through some fundraising. So they raised like $6 billion in May 2024, and then another 10 billion by mid 2025. So at a very lightning speed. Like, one thing about Elon is that he moves with light. He is so crazy. And then after that, we slightly saw Grok 2, so it came out in 2024, stronger reasoning, and then Grok 3. Grok 3 was it's finally usable by everyday users. I would say, like, when Grok 3 came out, I was surprised because it was such an improvement. So Grok 3 started beating OpenAI models, and OpenAI is the pioneer when it comes to LM, when it comes to AI. So I was really impressed what Elon has done within, like, okay, Grok 3 came out in February 2025. So just a year and a half. Elon has done so much. And then of course we have Grok 4, and just last week we have Grok 4 Fast, which is cheaper and faster, like a lot cheaper compared to even Grok 4. So I'm really impressed by the achievement xAI has done. And then there's this thing that Elon is building right now. So Colossus is the world's largest supercomputer built by Elon Musk's AI company xAI to train and advance its AI models, particularly the Grok chatbot. So they are building this with more than 100,000 GPU AI cluster in just 122 days. Like, this would take their competitors years to achieve that. And now they have doubled to 200,000 GPUs. So that's a crazy speed. I have no idea how Elon achieved all the achievement that he has done. I would say, like, Elon is really my idol. Some of my friends, if they come over to my place, I have a poster of Elon Musk, actually, and I have a book about Elon Musk. So yeah, I don't know, like, when I hear about like his perspective and also what he has done from all these years, I get really intrigued. Like, his way of thinking, like, okay, he always asks fundamental questions instead of copying rivals. And he has this like founder mode, like personally directs product and model updates instead of like asking people to do it. And of course, he only hires talents. Although I heard stories about Elon being a difficult piece, and I mean, he is a billionaire and he has achieved so much. He is like pushing humanity to a next level. So I wouldn't expect that he is a easy person to get along with per se. So yeah, so I would say the analogy is like Elon Musk treats AI like rockets. Like failure is acceptable if it means faster learning. So that's why xAI is moving at like lightning speed, basically, especially when compared to OpenAI and stuff like that. So I would say the edge that Elon has, and by the way, like even NVIDIA CEO predicts Elon Musk will reach 1 gigawatt of AI compute ahead of rivals. So this guy has achieved so much. And I think another reason he has achieved so much is because, okay, his empire is so huge. He has Tesla, he has xAI, he has SpaceX, he has like the energy sector, the supercomputers, because need green power, right? So I would say, okay, Tesla, there are billions of miles of driving data to teach AI how to handle real world chaos. It really does help Grok reason more like a human. For SpaceX, so it's advanced simulations like landing rockets or orbital mechanics all translate into resilient AI models that can problem solve under pressure. And for the energy, of course, supercomputers need so much energy, and Tesla gigafactories will make AI growth cheaper and cleaner. So all of that, I would say, is more like a Lego blocks. Like each company plugs into the others. That's why I'm so bullish on Tesla. I've been a long-term holder for Tesla, and so far it has been doing well for me. Let me know if you guys like xAI or Tesla or what they're doing. I'm really bullish on Tesla. So here's just the entire empire that Elon Musk has been building. Let's also look into the metrics, like AI metrics. So we have this graphs measuring different LLMs. So we have Grok here and GPT-5, and also like Grok 4 Fast, Gemini 2.5. And what we're doing is essentially measuring. Okay, so for scientific reasoning, like look at this, like a Grok 4 is coming at fast. So as coding, a Grok 4 is coming at fast again. The second one, guess what it is? Grok 4 Fast. And then the third one is ChatGPT 5. And then when it comes to agentic coding and terminal use, Grok 4 is again number one. So it's really something. I would say, okay, Grok 4 really does shine when it comes to coding and reasoning while offering the best cost speed trade-off. Because if you want cost or speed, you can just switch over to Grok 4 Fast. And rivals still etch it in massive memory. So ChatGPT have a bigger memory and broader knowledge. But when it comes to coding and reasoning, or even crypto knowledge, I would for sure go to Grok instead of ChatGPT. And what I like about xAI is that they are right now building their own chip. We know that all the AI giants has been relying on NVIDIA chips. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but again, it looks like a little bit of a bubble forming right here, especially when we saw deals like NVIDIA investing like $100 billion into OpenAI. And then OpenAI going to buy more chips from NVIDIA. So like, looks like a circular. Is that 100 billion actually exists in this system? So yeah, I really like the move how Elon is now inventing the own chips. Like if anyone could do it, it's gonna be Elon Musk. So training AI is it feels like fueling a rocket. Like you need powerful engines. In this case, going to be chips. Of course, NVIDIA still dominates, but supply shortage and costs are massive. So I really like xAI move. I really like Elon move. So yeah, let me know, chat, like if you guys like, which LLM you guys use the most. The key takeaway, I guess, okay, Elon Musk ecosystem strategy and also the founder-driven speed is what sets xAI apart. Like whether Grok becomes AGI, because AGI is going to be the intelligent, very close to human or even like smarter than human. Like whether we get to, maybe Grok get to AGI or not, xAI is already shaping the competitive landscape of AI and by extension, the feature of humanity's tech, I would say. All right, so that's for the xAI. Let's move on to the next piece of news. I do want to dive deeper into the deal, and also Google is basically acquiring some stake in Bitcoin miner, like Bitcoin mining company. So this Bitcoin mining company is called Cypher, so Miner Cypher. Okay, this is a little big. Let me zoom out a little bit. All right, so Google just slipped deeper into the AI compute game by backing a ex Bitcoin miner. So Alphabet, of course, being the parent company of Google, is now guaranteeing a $1.4 billion of leases for Fluid Stack in a $3 billion and a 10-year hosting deal with Cypher Mining. In return, Google gets warrants for 24 million of this share. So Cypher Mining share, the ticker symbol is CICIFL. So Google will get 5.4% stake in the shares. Cypher will convert 168 megawatts at the farm that they had in Texas into AI GPU capacity by next year, so September next year. So this is the blueprint for turning mining sites into AI supercompute hubs. Let's break it down, like what matters and what Google is going after. Like, is he going after Bitcoin mining, or there's like some other goal Google is trying to achieve? And also, how this changes both AI and crypto. So, of course, the context is that the mining company, so Cypher Mining, signed a $3 billion deals and going to do a 10-year hosting agreement with Fluid Stack, which is a UK-based AI computing startup. Google going to guarantee the lease obligations, and they're going to have a stake in between this deal. So there's also, okay, like right off the bat, when this news broke out, when this announcement, Cypher Mining stock like spike up like 20%. Like, okay, I can't really, okay. So the price spike up like 20%, and it was like, right now it's correcting a little bit, and it has been, basically, we had been that for 3 years, more than 3 years. We just like hovering around below $5, and because of this news, like boom, we're seeing reach $12, a new high for years. Basically, we are retracing a little bit, but this is what happens when you do deals with Google, right? So we're down from $16 to $12. And because of this, Cypher Mining also launched a $800 million zero coupon convertible note on the same day. Again, it's like signaling long-term AI expansion for this deal. They have like showing people that they have strong conviction in AI. So like this got me really interested, because this is still a Bitcoin miner company, so Bitcoin mining company, while Google is betting big on a Bitcoin mining company. It got me interested to see like the history. So Google's stance on crypto, like basically what do they see in this deal? So back in 2018, Google banned crypto and ICO ads, saying that they are all scams, they're extremely volatile. That has always been Google's stance. And then in 2023 or 2024, the ban kind of relaxed a little bit, but still quite hostile. In 2025, now that we have a completely new administration and Donald Trump has been so friendly to crypto, they kind of like pivot a little bit. So in just like in August, so just less than 2 months ago, like they clarified that non-custodian wallets are finally allowed on Play Store. So they have been moving really slow, and they have been really hostile for crypto. Like even YouTube, because I have been doing content on YouTube, and I really know the culture there. Like the culture is really hostile to crypto, basically. So the key takeaway is that Google isn't anti-crypto anymore, is pro-infrastructure when it overlaps with AI, with cloud, with payments. So it's very selective for Google, in other words, because they're a giant already. Why they have to be so innovative, right? But okay, this is for Google's stance. I kind of want to dive deeper into this company, like what Google see in this company, why they are kind of like investing. Okay, they have like 5% stake in this company. So this company founded in 2021, of course, is focused on Bitcoin mining. It was Texas based. That's an interesting twist because in Texas, the energy might be cheaper and it focused on sustainable power. So I think this is another reason why Google would choose this company. But like this company doesn't have a healthy financials. Like they have been losing money. Like there are like a net loss of $20 to $30 million per quarter. So the key takeaway is that this company is financially stretched, but strategically positioned. The Google and Fluid Stack deal locks in $3 billion in revenue, so giving it stability. And if you, okay, the financials are not looking so good. Of course, like whenever I look at financials, the first thing I look at is the EBIT. The EBIT has been consistently negative, which is again, net cash outflow. I'm guessing the net cash outflow from operations, because like Bitcoin mining is it's not like a very profitable business right now. A lot of Bitcoin mining companies are getting out or pivoting. Maybe they have like some stake in AI, hosting GPU farms. This tends to be the trend. Like for example, Core Scientific or TerraWolf, they are now hosting GPU farms. So I won't be surprised to see more Bitcoin mining companies are kind of pivoting away, whether it's going to turn into a Bitcoin treasury company or going to host like GPU farms or getting into AI. I do think Bitcoin mining and also like AI going to come together because there are so many overlaps. And I do see the trend, like Bitcoin miners are becoming hybrid AI and BTC companies in order to survive. Because again, we have the 4-year cycle. Like the Bitcoin miners, they guarantee the reward to get to be halved every roughly 4 years. So that's why we're seeing a trend. They're getting out. But like I would say Google, like looking at this financials, they're not particularly healthy. Maybe Google saw it as an opportunity. Like first, this company is based in Texas, so there's an advantage, like cheaper energy, renewable, heavy grid. And also since they are a mining company, there's ready infrastructure. It's cheaper and faster to back a miner than build a new AI data centers from scratch. So yeah, maybe that's why they Google got in. But like there is also an investment angle. Like if it is a good time to scoop up some of this like CIFL stocks. Of course, there's bull case, there's bear case. What the street likes and what people think. Of course, there's a $3 billion revenue locked in over 10 years. So that's clear milestone. And it could potentially reach to like $7 billion on extensions. And also the name of Google, like Alphabet, actually backing this. That's another validation for a company like this. And then there's like multiple buy ratings, like the coverage momentum, plus some new coverage hires, coverage. So that's the bull case. However, there's also a bad case because, like as I mentioned, this company financially they're not healthy, they're not profitable. There is cash burn, there is missed estimates, and there are risks involved. And there's also volatility when it comes to crypto price and energy. And since they are raising convertible notes, there might be some dilution risk when those stockholders actually, or maybe convertible bond holders actually convert into stock. So there might be some dilution risk. I would say overall, I think it's good for risk takers. Again, we have to look at the post-deal momentum. There is a massive jump to $16. Right now, we're tracing. So maybe risk taker like to get in, especially like investing in a pivoting startup with big tech backing. So that's a good narrative. For conservative investors, I would say just wait till Q3 earnings. So that's going to be 29th of October, or to see just how the financials are doing. All right, so not financial advice, of course, but I personally, I haven't invested in much mining companies. Well, actually, I haven't invested in any mining companies. I much rather just hold the underlying asset. In this case, it's Bitcoin. Or if I like AI, I'm going to get Tesla. So the key takeaway about this deal, so this isn't just like Google investing in Bitcoin, it's Google investing in the infrastructure of the future. So Cyver's, this mining company, Texas base, will power both Bitcoin mining and AI data centers, creating a hybrid road, like a hybrid model that big tech can't ignore. For crypto, like this shows how mining is evolving beyond block rewards into powering AI revolution. So that's good stuff. That's pretty much all the major news I want to mention. Like, I will mention this again because I thought today is the National Day of Hong Kong, but it was not. So it was tomorrow. So tomorrow there won't be any live stream. However, tomorrow there'll be a interview. So I was actually speaking to Kevin yesterday. He's a very interesting and also full of perspective. So I did like a 45 minutes interview. So full values. If you guys want to like more valuable, want to see more valuable content, make sure to tune in at 4 a.m. Eastern time on Roxham TV. If not, that's okay. Just like watch the replay on Roxham TV YouTube channel. Or make sure follow Roxham TV on Twitter. I posted a funny clip between my conversations and Kevin yesterday. It was just like a 32 seconds clip. So make sure guys just go watch that. The full version will be out again tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on gemcrypto_io on Twitter and also on Roxham TV. So thank you. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on Thursday again. Thursday.